What's up guys, DuArktik here with another Marvel Strike Force video, and in this video we are going to talk about Apocalypse, and you are not going to be happy with this video because I'm gonna tell you how you can destroy Apocalypse day one on Arena. Yes, day one, even before the character will be released, you'll be able to destroy Apocalypse, even if you don't have Apocalypse, even if you don't have any of the Horseman characters. You will be able to defeat Apocalypse and all of their Horseman characters together. So I don't know what to think about this. It's gonna be probably a little bit disappointing for most people because after this 1 year long journey to obtain Apocalypse, is going to get destroyed day one. So dead on arrival, big yikes. So we are going to take a look at his stats, we are going to take a look at his kit. I'm also going to give you some personal opinion, what I would like to see on Apocalypse, what I expected him to be. But we are going to break down all the math on how you can destroy Apocalypse once again day one. And as always, if you like the information on these videos, make sure you share it with your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe for more Marvel Strike Force content, and make sure you smash that like button. Okay, so here we go. So because of this strike time video, we have all the stats for Apocalypse, we have his speed, and based on that we can figure out what is going to be the turn order of the team. And with that we can theory craft teams that will be able to defeat Apocalypse. So some people are gonna say, oh, how do you know this? You don't have the character yet. It doesn't matter, bro. We have the stats. It doesn't matter. If you have the stats, if you have the speed of the character, then you can predict what it's gonna happen. It's like science. It's like going to space. That's how you calculate. If you have all the stats, if you have all the formulas, then you can easily figure out what you are going to do and predict what is going to happen. So that's what we are going to do. We are going to analyze the stats and so on. And this is not my first rodeo. I have done this in the past. Actually, I was in the past quite famous for this. You can see right here, they won a Black Order Canceller. This was one of my biggest videos like 2 years ago. It was a video that Casino, he was very famous back then, and he watched this video and he promoted my channel because of this video. And then when Morgan Le Fay came out, I also made day one counter for Morgan Le Fay, and the developers, a few hours after this video was live, the developers had to change the passive of Morgan Le Fay because of the counter of this video. So if you guys want to check that out, maybe you want to check out how skinny I was back here 2 years ago, you can check it out. I was way better looking than I am right now. Right now I'm just fat ass, but that's fine. But yeah, they won counter for Black Order when they were released, and then they won counter for Darkhold when they were released, all with old characters, all without using the mirror match or anything like that. And it's going to be exactly the same for Apocalypse. So it's going to be exactly the same, and this is so disappointing. It took 1 year to obtain this character, even longer than 1 year, 1 year and a half, and he's going to get slapped in Arena. Oh my god, what is this? And this is for Arena. We'll be back here in this channel, of course, breaking down how to slap Apocalypse in Cosmic Crucible as well, and maybe even Alliance Wars. We'll have to wait and see, but yeah, big disappointment of Apocalypse. So once again, make sure you check out these day one counters for Black Order and for Darkhold. I was able to defeat them back then. And this, oh yeah, this is also interesting. If you guys want to check this out, this is also interesting, exposing some new stuff about the situation. But moving on, what we have here. Okay, so let's take a look at the passive of Apocalypse, and this is one of the reasons why he's so disappointing. On spawn he starts with immunity. It doesn't matter, bro, like no one cares about your immunity, this is irrelevant. And then we have that Apocalypse cannot have his speed manipulated by Emma Frost, and that is nice, that makes sense, that Apocalypse is stronger than Emma Frost, that's nice, but it does not stop turn rewind. You can lower his speed, or you cannot lower his speed with Emma Frost, but you can lower his speed bar, because speed and speed bar are two different things. It's like assist and assist now are two different things. It's like dodge and evade. Those are two different things. In different situations, those abilities are going to work in different way. And once again, it's nice that Apocalypse is not affected by Emma Frost. That makes total sense. But the fact that you can still manipulate his speed bar and use Eternals, for example, or Cable, for example, or even Morgan Le Fay, for example, to manipulate the speed bar of Apocalypse is quite lame, because we know how powerful the Eternals are in Arena. 2 years after the Eternals were released, or how long it was, 1 year or 2 years, I have no idea, are we still going to use Eternals to win in Arena? Yes. It's ridiculous. 2 years after, the Eternals are still the best characters in Arena. It's so ridiculous, I don't know what to tell you. Okay, so this situation got even more aggravated with the introduction of Spider-Weaver and Spider-Man 2099. Together with their Eternals, they are just so powerful that they completely cancel out anything else in Arena, and this is why I would wish that Apocalypse would also be immune to Turn Rewind, but it's not the case. He's gonna get slapped by Turn Rewind either way, which is a big deal. So the speed reduction, it's not gonna matter. This is a counter for Emma Frost. It's not gonna matter. And in terms of the on-spawn immunity, it's not going to matter anyway, because Spider-Man 2099 is going to clear this immunity away, and Apocalypse does not start with Safeguard. So you're going to remove that immunity, and that's it, GG, game over. Which is a big problem. He stops the Safeguard from other characters, but he does not give Safeguard to himself, and that's going to be a big deal. On stun, clear stun, and heal block. But if you listen to the interview of the developers in the same video, the developers say, if you're going to try to stun Apocalypse, make sure you have trauma. Which character has stun and trauma? It's Spider-Weaver on her ultimate. So there we go. Once again, we have another element that is going to stop Apocalypse. We have Spider-Man 2099 and we have Spider-Weaver. One is going to clear the immunity, the other is going to slap stun with trauma on Apocalypse, or on other characters if you want. It's the same thing, but it's better just to stun Apocalypse, just to make sure it doesn't do anything funny. And that's it, game over. Apocalypse and the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse, they are done. There is nothing you can do. And the worst part is that if you have Apocalypse and all Horsemen characters together, it's actually worst for you on Arena. It's actually worse because Apocalypse does not get all the counter chance, and we are going to understand this when you take a look at the numbers. But if you take a look at Apocalypse kit, when he does counter attack or the basic, is going to get speed up, and this speed up is going to be very important. And when you see his passive, is going to get more counter chance by villain allies, but not all horsemen are villains. So if you have all horsemen, if you have Red Hulk and Rogue, he's actually not going to have 100% counter chance, and that will reduce the chance of Apocalypse getting speed up. So the more horseman characters you have is actually the worse for you, because it will make less likely for Apocalypse to get the speed up on counter. And even with the speed up on counter, it's not gonna matter. It's not gonna matter, bro, because we have right here that Scopely is telling you already, use cable, use cable, use cable and you win. If you use cable, you win. If you use cable, you destroy Apocalypse. If you use cable, Apocalypse has literally zero chance of dominating in Arena. It's just ridiculous. It's just so ridiculous. I don't even know what to think. But yeah, the kit of Apocalypse, it's decent. It's okay. It's not amazing. It's really not amazing. It's nice. but it's not amazing. So it doesn't spawn, it spawns with immunity, but it doesn't spawn with defense up or offense up or safeguard or anything like that, like Dormammu. Dormammu spawns with immunity, defense up, and offense up. It's not the case for Apocalypse. You need to wait for Apocalypse first turn so he can give defense up and safeguard to himself and to the team. It's too late. He's already dead at this point. He's just too late. The ultimate is nice, but it doesn't start turn 1, so it's not great either. You could use the basic, for example, first, depending on the situation, to make him go faster, and then use the ultimate instead of the special. This is something that in specific matches we are going to take advantage of. And then on the passive, in my opinion, it's so disappointing because like, it's nice that he stops enemies from safeguards, and the point here is at the start of the match. So at the start of the match, this is before on spawn. So at the start of the match, this happens before on spawn abilities. So this is going to be important to make a difference, and this is going to be why Apocalypse is going to counter the Infinity Watch. This is why at the start of the match begins before on spawn abilities, and this is very important to know to figure out what we are going to do. Then on stun, clear heal block, and heals for himself, but if you apply trauma, this is cancelled and he will still be stunned. And Apocalypse cannot be revived, so even if you use Dormammu together with Apocalypse, that's not going to affect him. And that's it. So in my opinion, the kit is it's lackluster, it's not that great. We waited 1 year for this, and the fact that we already have a counter for him in Arena, where he was supposed to shine, and this is what the developers try to sell us. That's why they put this footage of Apocalypse in Arena, but the reality of the situation is that it's not going to be that great. It's just, that's it. So all the Horseman characters with Apocalypse against Darkhold with Dormammu, like, this is the meta of 1 year ago. Who is doing this? Who is doing this right now? Dormammu with Darkhold? Are you kidding me? Have you guys playing the game? This is not the top meta that we have right now in the game, and it's quite disappointing. Other problem that I have with Apocalypse kit is that he gives only alpha to himself. I really wish that he would be like, it would be like 20% max health to all villain mutants, and then 30% including Apocalypse, and then 30% additional health for Apocalypse. This would also increase the value of Apocalypse with villain mutants like Strife, like Mr. Sinister, like Magneto, like Mystique, characters that have many stories together with Apocalypse. It's so lame that we have this reference for Cable, but you don't have the reference of the villain mutants that have been together with Apocalypse in so many situations, and it actually would be a good way of giving some additional value of having Apocalypse together with those characters, increasing his viability of those other characters, and also the diversity of where you could use Apocalypse. So in my opinion, like, the kit of Apocalypse is just so disappointing, and yeah. Now let's take a look at the stats. That's another problem as well. So we have here Apocalypse as a striker. I don't mind the cannon and the drill. I'm a little bit confused about the sword, and that's fine. And in terms of the stats for Apocalypse, so health, he has a little bit more health than Dormammu, but it's not like a significant amount. It's like 5% more or something like that. Then the damage is not that great. The damage is not that great, like 57,000 at this point in time, when you have characters with 80,000 and 90,000 base damage. It's quite low. Is this the big boy we are waiting for? It's quite low, let's be honest. Armor, he has the same armor as Dormammu, but Dormammu does not have a team. Apocalypse has a team, so I guess that's okay. You can pair up Archangel with Apocalypse to raise his armor, but the individual value is not good. It's the same as Dormammu, and Dormammu was released like 1 year ago or 2 years ago or whenever it was. Then we have the resistance and the focus. The focus is just atrocious. Are you expecting us to use all the time Apocalypse together with Red Hulk? How we are going to do this in Arena? How we are going to do how are we going to do this in Alliance Wars? How are we going to do this in Cosmic Crucible? The focus and resistance for Apocalypse is just garbage. It's not good. It's not good. And then the developers, they mislead us by showing Apocalypse with the Skirmisher isolate. So they show Striker again, and then they show Skirmisher. You can see right here. And then when they go through their stats and they show his speed, you can see that the focus is around 20,000, but like 20,000 even with Skirmisher ISO 8, it's not that great. It's not that great. When you take a look at the abilities of Apocalypse, when you take a look at his ultimate and at his special, where is the focus, guys? Where is the focus? You have different characters like Star-Lord T'Challa, not Star-Lord, we have Black Panther Bashenga, and other characters that were released recently. 500% more focus, 500% more focus. Where is the 500% more focus for Apocalypse? He's going to fail his attacks all the time. Like the special without additional focus, this is gonna be garbage. Now, if Apocalypse gets attacked at turn 1, you might get offense up, and that will give you additional focus. That's true. But if you're going to use the special first, and if you are not attacked, you are not going to have the 50% additional focus. And that's 50% of 17,000, which is not like amazing by any means. It's not amazing by any means. So are you expecting us all the time to have Apocalypse to be attacked, to have Apocalypse with a full villain team, and together with Red Hulk? If you have Red Hulk, you don't have a full villain team. So there are so many problems with this kit. It's unbelievable. And then the ultimate, once again, where is the focus? There is no focus here. So I feel like I have to make a Apocalypse Skirmisher, because otherwise it's gonna suck. It's not gonna be able to apply trauma or anything like that. You need to wait for him to get offense up, and you need to hope that he has like Red Hulk or anyone else giving him focus. Otherwise he's going to fail to do his special and his ultimate. It's just so dumb. It's just so effing dumb. I really don't understand what they are doing with this character. 1 year for this? 1 year for this? Okay, so let's finish off the video. Let's break down how are we going to destroy Apocalypse day 1. Once again, like I did with the Black Order, like I did in the past. Day 1 Black Order cancelled, day 1 Darkhold cancelled, and now we are also going to cancel Apocalypse and the 4 Horsemen, or hybrids of that team. Okay, so here we have the stats of Apocalypse, and this is the stats of Apocalypse without the Horseman characters. And this is also the stats of Apocalypse with the Horseman characters, but the baby Apocalypse. So if you have a 5 yellow star Apocalypse with 2 red stars, and this is the baby Apocalypse, together with the Horseman characters, these are the stats that you are going to get. If you have the maxed out Apocalypse, and congratulations Polo Master for the maxed out Apocalypse, if you have the maxed out Apocalypse plus the Horseman characters, these are the stats that he's going to have. So 2 million health, that's a lot. But for most people, the baby Apocalypse, 1.4 million health, that's literally nothing special. That's literally nothing special. The damage, it's embarrassing. The armor is decent. The focus and the resistance, it's embarrassing. This is, let's be honest, this is embarrassing. So, to make sure that your Apocalypse is a little bit more safe than not, you need to have Apocalypse with Morgan Le Fay and Red Hulk to have additional health, additional resistance, and additional focus. Without these 2 characters, your Apocalypse, you don't even have to level up Apocalypse. If you don't have Morgan Le Fay and Red Hulk together with Apocalypse, you don't even, don't waste your gold, don't waste your training materials, because you don't even have to bother to gear up Apocalypse. It's gonna be just pure garbage. So if you are using Apocalypse in Arena, make sure you have Red Hulk and Morgan Le Fay. Now, we have space here for 2 additional characters, and I'm not gonna tell you which characters will fix some of the problems of Apocalypse. I'll save that for another video. But if you have Apocalypse and all the Horseman characters, let's imagine you have full Horseman team. So Apocalypse, with Archangel, with Morgan Le Fay, with Red Hulk, and with Rogue, this team is going to get slapped. This team is going to get slapped by Eternals, Tangled Web, and Cable. Yes, Cable. It's true. Cable destroys Apocalypse. It's true. It's not only in the comics. It's not only on the TV show. It's also in Marvel Strike Force. So why does this happen? This happened because the Eternals, Cable, and Tangled Web, they are extremely fast. The speed meta still prevails with Apocalypse. So when you have all here the calculations of the speed of the character, so we have the speed of Red Hulk, we have the speed of Apocalypse, we have the speed of Apocalypse after Red Hulk does his special, but this value does not mean anything because you cannot have a speed higher than the character that is giving the turn meter. So the effective speed of Apocalypse would be 140, but because of the speed of Red Hulk is 133, that means the effective speed of Apocalypse will also be 133. But this is if Red Hulk takes a turn. Is Red Hulk going to be able to take a turn? No, he's not going to be able to take a turn. Because before that, Apocalypse will be already stunned. He's going to be stunned, bro. He's going to be stunned. There will be no chance. Okay, so Apocalypse is not going to have a turn. So let's forget about this number right here. Let's focus on the other numbers. So Tangled Web Spider-Man 2099 with Cable is going to have effective speed of 197. So he's going first, he's going to attack Apocalypse, he's going to apply slow to Apocalypse. That's even worse, slow to Apocalypse. But you got lucky. You got lucky, bro. So Apocalypse, he did the counter. He did the counter, and because of the counter, he got speed up. So the speed of Apocalypse increased from 122 to 183. And that will allow Apocalypse to go a lot faster. The problem is that Spider-Man 2099, because Apocalypse has shit resistance, is going to get slowed. He's going to get slowed because Spider-Man 2099, he gets 60% more focus, and he also gets 50% more focus because of the Eternals. Eternals, they give offense up to characters in arena, so he's going to get more focus because of all those things. So that means that Apocalypse is going to get slowed. He's going to get slowed. So you can see right here, we have the speed of Apocalypse, and this is without Cable, and then we have the speed with Cable. Why it makes a big difference? Because Cable will allow Spider-Man 2099 to go before, even faster, right? And the difference between 190 and 183, and the difference between 197 and 183 is bigger. Then you have to make the difference of the speed of Spider-Man 2099 and the speed of Apocalypse, and then you have to apply slow to the difference. That means that the difference will have 50% bigger, and that will show the effective speed of Apocalypse. It's going to be 162. After Spider-Man 2099 attacks, the Apocalypse speed, if he gets speed up, if you have enough villains for Apocalypse to get speed up, his effective speed is going to be 162. And in the meantime, Spider-Weaver, she's going to get 5% turn meter because of Cable. She's going to get 20% turn meter because of Spider-Man 2099 Ultimate, and then she's also going to get 10% additional turn meter because if Apocalypse counters, he attacks Spider-Man 2099, and that triggers the passive of Spider-Weaver, because Apocalypse does a counter, does not do a retaliation attack, so you don't have that situation where passives do not trigger passives. And because of that, Spider-Weaver will go before Apocalypse. And because of the offense up, because of the additional focus, and because I made my Spider-Weaver Skirmisher ISO 8, she's going to apply stun with trauma to Apocalypse. She's going to apply stun with trauma to Apocalypse. Apocalypse is not going to be able to use his special and give defense up, immunity, and safeguard to the entire team. and then Red Hulk is going to fail his special ability. So he's still going to give turn meter to Apocalypse, but Apocalypse is going to be stunned, so it's not going to matter. Apocalypse is going to be stunned. Red Hulk will use his special, he's gonna fail because Spider Weaver will have charges, and then guess what? Guess what, motherfucker? Icarus is gonna come with his ultimate and he's going to destroy your ass. He's going to destroy your ass. And that's it, it's game over. It's pretty much game over at this point. Then Cersei will turn rewind Apocalypse and the Horseman as well. Then Cable will turn rewind Apocalypse by 50% once again. And if you are worried about Red Hulk getting charges, don't worry about the charges of Red Hulk, because Spider-Man 2099 is going to apply ability block to Red Hulk and it's game over. It's game over. That's it. It's very simple. If you do the math, if you calculate all these things that I did on my live stream, usually I live stream every day. During the week it's like Alliance Wars, Cosmic Crucible and so on. At the weekend, on Friday, we break down the math. We do the math for the events, and on Saturday, if I do any live stream, is to break down the speed of the characters in specific game modes. It's a little bit more complex, it might feel like school, but you might learn some interesting things. So there you go, guys, it's game over for Apocalypse. Day 1 destroyed. Day 1 destroyed. I'm gonna make another video like this one. Day 1 Black Order destroyed. Day 1 Darkhold destroyed. Because that's it. When you analyze the math of the different teams that we put together, Apocalypse is going to get destroyed. And that's it. There is nothing we can do, or there is nothing they can do, because Tangled Web with Eternals and Cable will destroy it. It's literally game over. Now, there is a solution for this. There is a solution for this, but I'm not going to mention here. I'm going to save for another video. And that's it. So, are you guys disappointed that Apocalypse, the big bad Apocalypse, the guy that we waited 1 year to unlock, is going to get slapped day 1 in Arena? Is this a disappointment for you? Are you happy with what you have in terms of the Apocalypse kit? Is it concerning for you that his stats in terms of resistance and in terms of focus and even the damage are quite lackluster, especially when you compare them individually to Dormammu? What do you guys think really about this situation? To be honest, I'm quite disappointed, and once again, I really miss the situation of having more synergies with mutant villains, like giving them additional health the same way that Captain Sam does. Captain Sam gives more health to skill characters. Why not Apocalypse giving more health? Just a little bit, like 20%, not game breaking, but why not 20% more health to villain mutants? That would give him so much more viability in different situations, and it would open the doors for many possibilities in Alliance Wars and also in Cosmic Crucible. And yeah, it's so disappointing, but there you go, guys. This is the math. This is the math. This is the team that will destroy Apocalypse day 1, and there is nothing you can do. Our Horsemen together, like all this work that we had for this entire year, it will be flushed down the toilet, because that's it. The developers, I don't know if they did this on purpose or not, but yeah, the rumors were truth. Cable will destroy Apocalypse, and it's up to you to decide if this is going to be disappointing or not. But based on the stats, based on all the information that we have, that's pretty much it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you smash that like button, and if you found the video helpful, entertaining, anything like that, make sure you share it with your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe for more Marvel Strike Force content, and I'll catch you guys later.